is Sebastian for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I am joined by.
Hello, I'm Mishkin Fitzgerald, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm from Crimson Vale, and thanks so much for having me, Seb.
It's great to have you here today. You guys are a different breed of metal, and the use of classical instruments intermingled with death metal growls, venomous delivery, and moments that leave you like totally transfixed. But how would you describe Crimson Vale in 4 words?
Oh my God, 4 words. Okay.
Sorry,
Um, yeah, this is tricky. All right, weird, dark, occult, metal.
love it. Okay, you guys really are a new band as well. You've been out on the road with my friend Mr. Lordy and All for Metal. I've dreamed this time last year that this would have all been happening and a stunning debut album as well.
Yeah, so it's been amazing for us. We're really lucky to be here. We did have a previous band that had been going for a very long time, like over 15 years. And when the pandemic hit, we kind of thought everything was over, and we pretty much decided that it was, we'll maybe never play shows anymore. So we just started writing really weird music just for fun. That's where HEX came from, the song. We just started that in the pandemic, and then I took it to Anna, and really we were just writing quite freely with no limitations and no thought about what anyone else thought. We were just kind of having fun with the free time that we suddenly had. Oh, hello, cat.
Yeah, he likes to
That's
make an
that's
appearance. This is Tabatha.
that's great. No, I love it. I have a similar cat. Um, but yeah, so then that happened, and then suddenly there was this manager on the table from Germany, a guy called Frank, who's amazing, who became very interested in the metal music that we'd started to make and put out. And he introduced us to Raining Phoenix, and it all came from there. So yeah, we never would have dreamed we'd be in the situation, especially making the music that we do, because it is so unique and so strange, and it's not mainstream, it's not for everyone. So to be in a situation where you're on a label as prestigious as Raining Phoenix, making such weird music is it's amazing.
It is like weird music, but it's amazing and it just like captures you, and I love it. I mean, I've been in the metal a long time and I've always sort of like classical music as well. And the way you intermingle that's I love
Mm.
it. And even going the other side, I mean, quite like a bit of saxophone in metal sometimes, like sometimes that's a bit out there as well. So yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
I'm gonna say saxophone and metal. Do you like Rivers of Nile? Gary's a huge
That's who I
fan
was
of them.
thinking of. Yeah, my brain, I'm old
Yeah.
man. I couldn't think. Rivers of
Yeah, no,
Nile. That's
I
it.
I only know that because of Gary. He's the real metalhead. For me, I'm
Yeah,
not a massive saxophone fan, but I really love Rivers of Nile. I really love what they
same.
do.
That's what I mean.
Incredible.
Yeah, I couldn't think when I was saying. It was like, who the fuck is that band?
Yeah.
It's Rivers of Nile. Yeah, that's who I meant. Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause I'm not a mega fan of the saxophone, but the way it's used in that, it's like, yeah, fantastic. I love the oboe though, and I love the violin, and I love a bit of that mixed in with your growls and that. Yeah, it's brilliant. And the clean vocals, that's really important to me as a fan.
Mm.
Um, I think Blinch is possibly my favorite track on the album. As someone said, it is the sound of the apocalypse. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, that was definitely what I felt the song when we finished it sounded like. Generally, when I'm in the midst of writing a song, I'm not really sure what it's trying to say or do. It's just kind of assembling itself in front of me. And yeah, I just felt like this song was such a weird contrast of light and dark. But really those massive like chorus sections where the chords go really strange and it's really ethereal. It really felt quite like majestic and apocalyptic and this huge kind of like, end of the world sort of sound. But at the same time, it's quite peaceful, if you know what I mean. Those sections
Yeah,
are quite dreamy and sort of like uplifting. So yeah, it's that dark in places, apart from the death growls, it's kind of a more beautiful song, I think.
absolutely. And Ribbons, I mean, that video is a total work of art. How long did that take to film? And were you marked for days afterwards from the rope burns and stuff?
But I'm absolutely like seem to just love punishing myself. So that yeah, I think I'd like wrongly assumed that the rope thing wouldn't be that difficult, like I'd just be, it wouldn't be that bad. And then obviously I had to do quite a few practice sessions with the Shibari instructor. And the problem was that when you do normal rope, you're sort of moved around quite a lot. So you go from one position to another. So you're not constantly pressing on the same parts of your body. But because it was a music video, there was take after take after take of the lip syncing in the same position. And I couldn't really be moved.
Yeah,
And because the music video is all about restriction, we didn't want there to be too much movement. So it was really grueling. It was just the one day, but I was in the air for quite a long time. It was really, really painful. I wrongly assumed it would be a bit easier than that, but it was hard going. But it looks beautiful. So,
it
if you suffer
does.
for your art, as it
It
looks good,
does.
it's all right.
Absolutely. I mean, you have already have released 6 videos. They are all visually amazing. That's the main one, no more for me. But how important then is it for you to get the feel and vibes across, not just musically, but physically, but visually? Is it?
Yeah, yeah. It's very important. Yeah, I think for us, like we've always loved the music video form. It's just an opportunity to show another element of art to the musical concept. So I think, providing we have the budget to do it, we're always wanting to make like these quite just think, why not make something really stunning that's going to elevate the music to another level and give you that visual aspect? It's kind of what we want to do on stage as well. We don't just want to come in and play the instruments and play the songs. We want to really create an atmosphere. So
Yeah,
yeah, music videos is great, and it's a great way to reach new people. YouTube's a great platform for that.
it
You can
is.
fall into a rabbit hole with loads of music videos. So I think
It's
it's really
insane.
important. Yeah.
It really is. You just be like on there and it's like, oh, this band, that band. You just can't keep up, can you? You really can't.
Yeah, I know. So much great stuff out there.
Absolutely. So what about Awake then? I love the sea. When was that filmed and where was that filmed? Was that filmed in Brighton?
No, it was more south. It was more towards Bournemouth. I can't remember the exact name for the beach. So our videographer lives towards Southampton.
Okay.
Near the New Forest, there's some beautiful beaches and woods
Yeah.
around there where we've done a lot of our work for this album. Yeah, it was fantastic for me. Like songs are always have like an element form as well. So when I wrote Awake, I was writing on piano, and I knew straight away it was a water song. I knew straight away it was like about the sea, and it had that feel to it, like a storm growing and growing, I suppose. And yeah, so it just made sense when we were thinking of the video for Awake. We'd just go to like a beautiful beach. We had to go really early in the morning, so there was no one there. So it was like 4 a.m. Like you can tell in the video, I look pretty tired, but I think it kind of just adds to the sort of sadness of the videos. I look genuinely gutted, so
Yeah.
it kind of worked out all right. But yeah, it was really, really cold. Going in that sea was freezing. Yeah, so.
And Task is a monster track. That's just the length of the song, not just the length of the song. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, so Task is Gary's song, pretty much. He started it. It's his fault that there's a 12-minute song at the end of the album. I mean, he's a massive Opeth fan and a massive Pink Floyd fan, so I think you can hear those kind of two elements
Explains
coming
it.
in there. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it was really great. I had like the piano part at the end had already been written for years, and I had it kicking around, and I knew it was going to belong somewhere, but I couldn't quite figure out where. And because we didn't really have any pianos on this album, even though I play keys a lot in most of my projects, we
Hmm.
decided we didn't really want a lot of it on this album. So it was just nice to kind of bring it into the end. I feel like this track is like a nod towards what's to come next for us.
Hmm.
It's sort of going into the next sound. We want to write longer songs, more progressive stuff, do really diverse instrumentation on the next record. So yeah, it was great, but it was a hard track to finish. There's a lot of really intense parts. There's a lot of vocal work that's,
Hmm.
all like loads of really long death growl sections, which I found quite grueling to record. There's a lot of choral parts. Like there's just so much going on. Like I felt really bad for our producer sending him, that just hundreds of tracks, 12 minutes long. It must have been an absolute monster to grapple with and balance everything. But it's great. And yeah, like I said, I feel like it's a nod of what's to come for us next, which is, you know, deeper layers of instrumentation, longer songs, more development, and more textures.
What about the media? Have you been picked up like by Metal Hammer, Kerrang, people like that? Because I'm sure that's going to happen if it hasn't already.
Yeah, so we've had a review in Metal Hammer UK, and we've had an interview in Metal Hammer Germany. We spoke to Metal Hammer Greece, so we're definitely in there
Awesome.
with the Metal Hammer guys, which is fantastic, and
Yeah.
Hard Rock Hell as well, and some other really great publications like Orcus in Germany, which is really great for the alternative stuff. Don't think we've got one from Kerrang yet, but anything could happen. So hopefully they'll pick us up at some point. But yeah, in general, like the press has been really, really positive. I think people have understood what we've tried to do. We always felt a bit like maybe our music is quite confusing and there's a lot going on. So it's really
Mm.
nice to get uh reviews back that reflect what we've tried to do, and they seem to have really understood it. And just to hear what people think of the album, we're getting a lot of really amazing feedback for the song Task, which gives us a lot of hope, because you think like that might be the most difficult track on the album to get through, because it is so emotionally grueling in parts. So it's been really nice to hear that, because now we know, okay, great, we have like full permission to go really full on the next record. So the press has been amazing. Really pleased with the results.
You're sort of like talking about the next record already. Is that already in progress then?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're now at the stage where we've got like a little Dropbox full of demos. There's like 6 or 7 songs at the moment, just little sketches. Anna's back doing drums at some point over the next few days, so we'll probably lay down a few ideas. But yeah, really, we just want to get like a bunch of demos together and then start recording as soon as possible, just because a band of this kind of gravitas, when the songs are so in depth and there's so much going on, it takes a really long time to finish songs for us. We have to like record parts and then stop and let it breathe and then listen to it again, and you have to go backwards and forwards, and it's a really long process for us. So we kind of want to crack on as soon as possible, because the last album took like 4 years pretty much to get to completion. So we really want to make sure that we start as soon as possible, really, because it's going to be quite a difficult one to put together again. So
you're gonna have a release party in Brighton as well. Talking about Brighton, how excited and stoked are you about that? And will you be streaming it?
We probably won't be streaming the album launch, no. We will we'll be playing all the songs from the album. Maybe Task, maybe not. We'll have to see if we can like wheel in the piano for the last but yeah, we've got Crow God to support, who are an amazing like doom metal band. Incredible musicians. Like I've seen them play a couple of times now in Brighton, and they're just the stage presence is incredible. They're really great live band to see. So I think it's a good match. I think that it's great to launch it in our hometown of Brighton. We haven't done a Brighton show yet, so it's going to be really great to play to our home crowd. And the Green Door Store is like one of my favorite venues ever. I've seen like some of my favorite metal bands there. I saw Gojira there recently, which are amazing. So bring the show to our home crowd and our friends, who've been following our band for God knows how long. So it'll be really nice to play to them.
Amazing. So like we stated, you've already played in mainland Europe with Lordi and Awful Metal. How was that, and how was Mr. Lordi?
He was great. Yeah. I mean, they were just such lovely people. They were really funny, like they were very, there was a lot of good backstage banter. The more we got to know each other, the funnier it got. And we've stayed in touch with them. They're really lovely people. It was brilliant. Like we couldn't have asked for a better first tour, to be honest, especially because we were so nervous and, completely inexperienced at playing on stages of this size. And it was the first time we'd ever played these songs, and we were kind of, we were doing everything. We were driving ourselves and pretty much doing, our own sound stuff and setup, and we were sort of at the mercy of the front of house, sound crew. And we had such a short time to sound check. So it was quite a stressful start. So it was really nice to play with a band who are just so kind and welcoming. So I feel like we really lucked out on that one, and I would really love to see them again. They're such a fun band to watch live. I mean, they're just great at entertaining the crowd, and they just go all out with everything. I mean, like I was knackered after a half an hour of singing with Crimson Veil, but Mr. Lordi does 2 hours in platforms. So I've got a long way to go.
Yeah, total legend, man. He really is. Okay, then. So when you were out on the road, who had the most annoying habit?
So he didn't tour with us the whole time, but our manager, Simon, shout out to our amazing manager, Simon. He's been with us for a really long time. He's got this, what we like to call a feature laugh. Right. So it's a very loud, like very raucous kind of laugh, and it just kind of cuts through you, and it's amazing. Like we love him for it, but I can imagine like when you hear his laugh for the first time, you're kind of like, do you know what I mean? His nickname was, I think it was the Cackle Witch. So if you're ever at a Crimson Veil show and you're kind of hanging around backstage and you hear like a really crazy laugh, then that's our manager, Simon, which is great. But we love it, and we don't notice it, but I can imagine when you meet Simon for the first time, you'll experience his feature laugh.
That's killer. Okay, then. So what about tour dates for the rest of the year? I mean, are you hopeful to get up all around England? Sorry, Scotland, UK, even?
Yeah, I think we're looking to do the UK early next year, and maybe Europe again too early next year. We've got some festival bookings coming in for next summer as well, which is great. And then we'll probably jump on a tour. We're not sure yet, but we're looking to find the right artist for us to support. Hopefully, it could be our label mates or someone outside. But yeah, we're just looking for bands that, their fan bases will also enjoy Crimson Veil. So something that's a bit unusual. So we're looking for the unusual bands that we can tour with. So yeah, there's definitely plans to tour, but right now, get yourself down to our launch party in Brighton on the 5th of November.
Brilliant. So can you tell us then what was the last song you listened to?
Oh God, good question. Last song that I listened to was, I think it was Gojira, La Infant Savage from that album, that title. I was in the car yesterday and I was listening to a lot of my metal playlists, but they're one of my favorite bands and I'm really into that album at the moment. I've listened to it for like 1,000 times, but every now and then I go on like a Gojira binge and I was listening to that album. So I think that was the last song I was listening to was that. They're one of my favorite bands.
Brilliant. So what was your feelings with the Olympics then? I mean, they were amazing,
So
weren't they?
good.
It was
It
amazing.
was so good. I was so excited that I actually texted my parents, like, which never happened. I was like, look, mum and dad, like this is the music that like I was telling you about. This is what my band is, trying to be like or whatever. And I just said like this is what it is. And they were like, very good, darling. It's really funny. But I was that excited about it that, I just felt it was such a great day for metal because they are like they're not like a mainstream band. Like they don't play like pop metal or metal that's really easy to listen to. So I was just so excited to see a band that's that kind of like progressive and weird and niche to just be in front of like over 1 billion people or something. It just must have been amazing. I just thought it was fantastic. I watched it a few times. I was really, really like overjoyed to see that. I just thought this is great. Metal's finally getting out into the world.
If you could go on a tour with anyone, would it be Gojira?
Oh, I mean, that would be incredible. But I'd have to say, like, we our dream tour, apart from Gojira, which would be just insane, amazing. That'd be amazing. But as collectively as a band, I think we would love to tour with Opeth.
Yeah.
They have been such a huge influence on us writing for so many years. Like we kind of grew up, forming the band and listening to Opeth. We listened to them so much as like a band that we can all go to in the tour van. That you're never like not in the mood for Opeth. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's never like
I agree.
like that.
100%.
It's like let's put on another Opeth. And just having that influence on our music and just a band that's just of their caliber is just incredible, and the way that they construct songs and just such an amazing band. So that would really be our dream tour. So I'm waiting for the call from Mike any day.
It could happen. It could.
It could happen.
All right. So then, if there was like a totally made up metal song about yourself, what would it be called?
Totally made up metal song about ourselves.
About yourself? No, not about
That's a
the band. About
strange
you.
question. Oh, okay. About me, a made up metal song about me. Um, I don't know. This is crazy. Okay. It would be called uh uh this is such a difficult question.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer this with the band name that I wanted to call Crimson Veil. Okay. So basically like I'm quite a silly person. I obviously write really dark music, and we all write really dark music in this band, but we're kind of quite silly people, on the road and touring and stuff. We're just kind of like joking around. And one of my suggestions for the band, and this could be a song title, was Rampant Hag. I just thought that was like hands down, like, and you can't steal that name. Like, I'm going to make a side project one day called Rampant Hag, and
Yeah.
it's basically just, like doing whatever you want, expressing yourself however you want, and that like expressing like that. But yeah, it was vetoed by the band, but I'm hoping that one day my project, will appear. Yeah.
It's gonna
Thank
have
you.
to. It's gonna have to. Totally.
Yeah, it's going to need to happen. I've said it now. So, but yeah, the band were like, it's not that cool, is it? Do you know what I mean?
It's fun.
But I thought it was great. But yeah, I think it's cool, but it was yeah, this is Gary now just saying it's not cool.
I know
Yeah, I'm talking about Rampant Hag. Yeah, it's a thing now. I'm afraid. Sorry. But yeah, that's the answer to that question, I'd say. I just think it's kind of, you can't take yourself too seriously, and that would be my song.
Song would you cover?
What song would you cover? That's a good question, actually. I mean, we're currently working, I think we're working on a Gojira cover. So that would be great. We love to cover bands that we want to sound like and be associated with. So we're currently working on a Gojira cover. We did, in the previous project that we did, we covered Tool, which was really fun. We covered Nine Inch Nails. And just a few other things that we feel we could bring something different to, I think, because we have this classical element. And what we really wanted to do is like rework a Gojira song, but like have it with strings and cellos playing some of the really heavy riffs. And I think covers are great, but if you can bring something unusual to it so that it kind of restructures it. And hopefully soon we'll have that out as a cover. Would be fun.
I don't think you heard me. I said Christmas song. She said Christmas. Ask them about the
Christmas. Oh right. Yeah. Oh God.
Exactly.
I mean, I would just say flat out no. I'm not a fan of Christmas. I don't like the music. I don't care about the food. I'm an absolute Scrooge. Same. Do you know what I mean? I'm just misery guts. I don't even hang up. I've got one Christmas decoration, and it's a black bauble that says "Happy Christmas, Wanker," and that's it. And that goes up in my music room, and that's my Christmas.
Fair enough. I understand you. All right. So I want to thank you so much for the time today. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers and listeners?
Just thank you so much for listening, and thank you for taking a chance on Crimson Veil. I really hope that you enjoy HEX. Stay open-minded to weird music and support bands that are doing something different. We need your help to get weird music out there. And thank you so much.
Rejection of doctrine to loosen my tongue, revenge for the disappearing, for just protection. The frozen prisoner becomes the movement. Listen to everywhere their sound.